Okay.
Alright guys, so basically what's happening is with the internet problems that I've had lately, obviously it's a major inconvenience, a major pain in the ass with it buffering every 5 seconds. So what we're doing is, look, obviously that internet streaming thing was more of a testing phase, was more about just setting up the scenes and everything like that. Obviously it's all been set up, it's all ready to go. My internet is supposed to be updated on the May. So obviously that'll be good. So what we're going to do for now, for the next 4 to 6 weeks, we're going to record the shows, we're going to upload them, and then obviously after that we'll be able to do the whole live thing. So if you're wondering why it's not live today, it's just simply that. So enjoy the better quality, and hopefully this will be a taste of things to come, but with it being live and interacting with comments like we normally do. So apart from that, let's just jump straight into it, as Philly D would say. Oh my god, I'm turning into Philly D. I'm joined by my co-hosts that I like to say hello.
Hello.
Guys, if you ever want to watch a really, really good podcast, go watch Tim Pool fillet Jack Dorsey on Joe Rogan's podcast that literally has just finished. Which is why this video is late.
Yeah, I'm surprised Tim Pool doesn't walk out of the studio wearing his wearing him as a jacket. He's after filleting him.
It was pretty bad, it really was. But let's jump into it because we've both got shit to do. I've got to go to bed. He's got, well, family. So let's jump into it. So Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Chief of Staff, illegally moved $885,000 in campaign contributions off the books, FEC complaint alleges. So, and what can be a whole world of shit for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. New York Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Chute, the progressive firebrand multi-millionaire chief of staff, apparently violated campaign finance law by funneling nearly $1 million in contributions from the political action committees Chakabi established to private companies that he also controlled, according to an explosive complaint filed Monday with the Federal Election Commission, or the FEC, obtained by Fox News. So, amid the allegations, of former FEC Commissioner late Monday suggested in an interview with the Daily Caller News Foundation that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her team could separately be facing major fines and potentially even jail time if they were knowingly or willfully violating the law by hiding their control of the Justice Democrat Political Action Committee, PAC, which such as arrangement could have allowed Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's campaign to receive donations in excess of the normal limit by pooling contributions to both PAC and the campaign itself. The FEC complaint asserts that Chakaberry, I'm getting that name wrong, established two PACs, the brand new Congress PAC and the Justice Democrat PAC, and then systematically transferred more than $885,000 in contributions received by those PACs to the brand new campaign LLC and the brand new Congress LLC, companies that, unlike PACs, are exempt from reporting all their specific expenditures. The PAC claimed the payments were for strategic consulting. Although large financial transfers from PACs to LLCs are not necessarily improper, the complaint argues that the goal of the extensive scheme was seemingly to illegally dodge detailed legal reporting requirements of the FEC Act of 1971, which is designed to track campaign expenditures. It appears strategic consulting was mischaracterization of a wide range of activities that should have been reported individually, the campaign states. So there is a whole lot more information on that, but also apart from that, which doesn't really go into anything that we really need to talk about. But apart from that, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her chief of staff could be facing jail time if their control over the PAC was intentionally hidden, former FEC commissioner says. So Democrat Republican Alexandria Cortez and her chief of staff Chute, I'm getting that name wrong, obtained major control of Justice Democrats PAC in December 2017. According to the archived copies of the group's website, the two appear to retain the control of the group according to corporate filings obtained by the Daily Caller Network News Foundation. If the Federal Election Commission, FEC, finds the New York Democrat campaign operated in affiliation with the PAC, which had raised over more than $1.8 million before her June 2018 primary, it would open them up to massive reporting validations, probably at least some illegal contribution violations exceeding the lawful limits, former FEC Commissioner Brad Smith says. Now, obviously, since then, Alexandria Cortez has denied violating campaign finance laws after the FEC complained. So the New York Democrat representative Alexandria Cortez denied violating campaign finance laws Tuesday in response to Federal Election Commission complaining allegedly she had her chief of staff set up $1 million private slush funds. There are no violations, Alexandria Cortez told Fox News. The National League and Political Center, NLPC, a conservative government watchdog, accuses Alexandria Cortez and Calabari, I'm getting his name wrong, her chief of staff, of illegally funding money between the political action committees, or PACs, and private companies that were both controlled by Calabari. So, in this, Alexandria Cortez has not responded. However, to other allegations, campaign finance violations are reported by the Daily Caller. But yeah, it seems like this could be a big problem for Alexandria Cortez. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm sort of wondering there. That's interesting. So he did all the actions, or is she involved?
Well, it was her political action.
She's involved because, yeah. So she's in trouble because of being in charge. Like it's like so if you're like a manager and then there's a horrible thing that your staff do, you're still culpable because you're supposed to be overlooking it, right?
Well, her name was down on the LLCs, so she would have had to sign for this.
Yeah. Okay. Because I just wanted to be clear about how. Okay, so he does all the bad stuff, but she's still culpable because it's her name down on the LLC. She probably had to sign off on these things. Yes. So.
Yeah. So he's probably ran it past her. Probably. Look.
Yeah.
Look.
Did she understand what was going on? Because she is. Well, we know that she's not very intelligent.
Well, I was going to say, look, between you and me, I wouldn't mind seeing Alexandria Cortez in a girl behind bars scene, but at the end of the day, some great big butch lesbian with a great big strap on. But I was going to say, but at the end of the day, I don't want to stick up for her because she's freaking insane and her policies are damn right dangerous, but being true to my name, I really don't think she's as responsible as he is. I think what's happened is that he's gone through, he's explained it all to her. She's probably said, is that legal or something along those lines? And he probably went, yeah! Like, knowing full well that it's not. So she's signed all the paperwork and everything like that. And meanwhile, he's probably known the whole time it was dodgy dealings. So, the question is he going to throw her under the bus? Do you think she's going to throw him under the bus? What sort of dirt does he have on her to prove that she knew about this? And, what's it worth to... And I do find it very interesting, this timing, too, because, well, she's been a royal pain in the ass for the Democrats lately. All of a sudden... like, hey, she's embroiled in a scandal that, you didn't know about. You're going to tell me they didn't have dirt on her like this, just in case she became a royal pain in the ass? You don't think the
It's
Democrats go
possible.
through? Yeah, you can't tell me you
Yeah,
don't think
yeah,
the
yeah.
Democrats. You going to say sorry? You going to tell me that you don't think the Democrats go through, find out all the skeletons and all the closets of all the people that run with them and against them, just so at the end of the day, if they get out of line, they can push them back into the right direction.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And who knows? Maybe this guy is actually working against her, or was trying to do this all along. I'm not sure, but I mean, yeah, like if it's proven that she willingly knew what was going on and was
Mm,
thinking of the dollar signs and gets to live in taking $1 million
mm,
and live in New York and have the high style,
mm.
hey man, she should go to jail.
Yeah, well, I do find it funny that she's a socialist and this guy is supposedly a millionaire. Here she is
Mm.
supposedly sticking up for the poor and and all this sort of hula, but apparently her right hand man is a millionaire, a
Yes.
multi-millionaire, by the way. It kind of makes that socialism theory that I have, that all socialists that socialism will always lead to millionaires on the top and everybody else being dirt poor. It does. My theory. Okay, so
Yeah.
socialism. My theory is, for anybody playing at home, is that the socialism will always lead to the rulers being extremely rich and everybody else being extremely poor. For example, Venezuela, the few people that can afford to eat every day are the higher ups in the government, for example. So it always seems to be this way inclined. Does make me wonder if, for example, this is another case of some chick who's a socialist, a communist, because at the end of the day, she knows that she's going to benefit from it and screw everybody else. It really is about wealth distribution, except it's about everybody giving the wealth to her. But that's my theory about socialism and communism anyway. But I was going to say, but yeah, it's interesting that, here she is supposedly defending the poor, and her right hand
Mhm.
man who is literally a multi-millionaire. Like, that is very, very interesting if you ask me. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And it always was kind of funny that he's a millionaire,
Mm,
but like apparently he was only being paid the living wage range that apparently AOC was talking
oof.
about.
Yeah.
So he was only getting paid something like 100,000 a year or something,
Oof.
way under what he's worth. But it was all to do with the whole thing that no one would be paid too much or too little.
Yeah.
So that looks nice on paper, but
Well, now you know why
when
he
you
tried
start to
to.
go into it.
Yeah, well, now you know why he tried to funnel 885 or whatever it was $1 million into his own private companies.
That's why I think that maybe she might get to walk away from this one. Maybe just a slap on the
Mm,
wrist or something more serious. But if she can prove that, and look, I'm going to leave it to the courts if they say that, okay, look, we've proven he did this under the table and lied to AOC and everybody.
mm.
Well, then okay, the guy's a piece of shit, and well, maybe she just needs to wisen the fuck up. So
But at the end of the day, do you really think the Democrats and the Republicans are going to let her walk away with this? They have a
no,
golden
no, no,
opportunity
her career's
right
over.
now. Yeah, they
Yeah,
literally
I'd
have
say
a
her career will be over. Yeah.
they literally have a golden opportunity now to get rid of a pain in the ass for both of them. Like, let's face it,
Exactly.
she
Exactly.
is a pain in the ass for the Democrats as most is what she is for the Republicans. And the deep state is going to revel in the fact that they can get rid of her right now because they would hate her as much as they hate Bernie. So at the end of the day,
Yep.
yeah, I would say that she's made some very powerful enemies,
Yep.
and
Absolutely.
and look, I think it's a very, very, very good thing that Trump did not collude with Russia, because otherwise we might also see the same with him. But anyway, but yeah, I don't know, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below regarding this. Do you think that she's done this, or do you think that she's innocent? And let us know what your thoughts are, and we'll jump in the next story. February had the highest total of undocumented immigrants crossing the US border in 12 years. So, Washington, the number of undocumented migrants crossing the southern border last month was the highest total for February in 12 years, according to statistics released by the Customs and Border Protection Agency on Tuesday. In 28 days, the same month, President Donald Trump declared a national emergency in order to build the wall. 76,103 immigrants without the needed documentation to enter the US either presented themselves at legal ports of entry or were apprehended by the Border Patrol agents between ports of entry. So this is the highest total for February since 2007. DHS officials said that at the press conference Tuesday, it's also the single highest monthly total since Trump was elected in November 2016. Crossings hit 66,842 in October 2016, just before Trump's election. Still, February did not see an overall record of border traffic. Before 2008, monthly border crossings were constantly over 100,000 and were higher than 200,000 per month in the year 2000. Okay, so yeah. As for this, do you not find it weird that it seems to be every time we're coming up to an election, all of a sudden the border crossings seem to spike?
It is interesting, isn't it? Although one does have to admit that due to the caravan, we probably would see the highest ever recently. The caravan would have put a lot of strain on the system, so there is that. But yes, the statistics, it's interesting. I love how America has statistics for literally everything. I mean, you just think it up as, oh, there's a statistic on that. It's very, very helpful to let the truth out.
I was going to say, so over in 2000, they were constantly over 100,000. Well, in 2000, it was Bush's presidency, wasn't it?
Yes,
Obama was in power for 8 years. And that would have been from,
before that was Bush, yeah.
Yeah, so it was 2008 to 2016. So 2000 to 2008 would have been Bush. So they had over 100,000. And then presumably it's dropped off. But in 2019, literally a year out or 18 months out from the election, all of a sudden we now have the highest record in February for border crossings. It's like someone might be gearing up for something. Sorry, you cut out. You there?
Yeah. I was just saying, amazing, isn't it? It's just amazing.
It is. And in 2007, was that the election cycle? 2008 would have been the election. So. It's because 2016. So you half that's 2008. Yeah. So the year before the 2008 Obama winning the election, we had another highest in February.
Well,
I might have to go through and do a little bit of graphing and number comparison, and I might just see if there's a sudden increase in border crossings. Might be interesting to have a look at.
Absolutely, yeah. These things need to be looked at.
Yeah.
Let's actually see for how far back it goes. That would be another interesting part of it.
Apart from that, obviously Trump needs to build the wall, obviously, and at the end of the day, apart from
I agree.
I would say, look, I'm not surprised. We're coming up to another election in the US, or the US is coming up for another election. I would say that there is political groups or political activists that are currently trying to encourage a mass amount of migrants into the US so that they would vote for the right party. That would be my theory on it anyway. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, same as yours.
Alright, next story. Chairman Needler admits there is no evidence Trump obstructed justice after he launches massive probe. It's my personal opinion. Okay, so we've had a massive probe that cost God knows how much money for a personal opinion now. Is this what they're saying? The House Judiciary Committee, Jerry Nadler, a Democrat from New York, admitted on CNN that there is no evidence Trump obstructed justice, but he launched a massive investigation anyway because it's his opinion that Trump may have violated the Constitution. Subpoenas flew on Monday after Representative Jerry Nadler launched an investigation of Trump and issued documents requesting the 81 people and entities close to the White House. The list includes Trump Jr., Eric Trump, General Michael Flynn, Julian Assange, which has literally been sitting in a freaking Ecuadorian embassy for God knows how long, Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner, Eric Prince, and the NRA. The House Judiciary Committee is investigating 3 topics: obstruction of justice, including the potential interference by the president into criminal investigations, public corruption, including violation of the Emoluments Clause, and abuse of power, including attacks on the free press. How? Obama has sent more journalists to prison than Trump did. Like, seriously. The law enforcement agencies reported NBC News. Nadler and his committees are specifically probing these topics because of each offense could lead to an impeachment effort, meaning they're not desperate or anything. Impeachment is the Dems' ultimate goal since Mueller, FBI, DOJ, deep state coup is failing. Nadler happily admitted that he has zero evidence that Trump may have violated the Constitution, but since we're living in a lawless times, the Democrats continue to march forward with their Soviet-style "show me the man and I'll find the crime" witch hunt of President Trump. Okay, so now you know it's not. So now you're not so sure he obstructed justice. CNN's Eric Bragg asked Monday night. Personally, I think it has. I think he has, but we have to look and see, Nadler said. In other words, Democrats will go on another fishing expedition into Trump's world to see what they can find, which has overt abuse of due process. Thoughts and opinions?
Yeah, drain the swamp.
Yeah. Yeah, it really just...
Is that enough?
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, the fact is that this is obviously, it reeks of desperation. It really, really does. To me,
it does, yeah.
This is them being desperate to try and get rid of Trump. Like they say, Mueller's probe is failing. It's, most people don't believe it anymore. They've literally shot their load on this Mueller probe, and it ends up being the biggest fucking white elephant, or the biggest bloody myth or conspiracy theorist, or whatever you want to call it. But look, at the end of the day, to be honest, I don't think Trump has done anything wrong. Did Russia buy a whole bunch of ads? Sure. But they brought him for both Democrats and Republicans. And to be honest, the US and everybody else, including China, has probably tried to meddle in the US's election anyway. So I don't know why we're hyper-focused on Russia. It's like the Red Scare of God knows when. But look, at the end of the day, and I would say the US has meddled in other people's elections more times than they've been meddled in anyway. So, look, obviously 2 wrongs don't make a right, but, yeah.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I think every major country, every first world country that has a lot of internet and social media, I would have no doubt that almost every country that also has access to the internet tries to muck around because of their self-interest. When Australia has an election, I'm sure that China and America and India, European places probably muck around with some propaganda because you know, depending on who wins, there will be certain, you know,
Benefits.
things that they're interested in, benefits to them.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of ado about nothing, because this is just the way things are. You know, they need to get over it. One thing I would probably say is that it shouldn't be happening. True. And let's see if there's maybe some way that social media platforms might be able to do something about it. But again, when it comes to identifying who is actually a propagandist and who isn't, that's kind of hard.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, if you want to go on about meddling in elections, every YouTuber probably meddled in the 2016 election. It depends on your definition of it, to be honest. It really does. Look, at the end of the day, I don't think there's anything to this whole Russia collusion thing. I think it's a complete myth. It's a complete ignorant, stupid idea. And I think the Democrats have literally shot their load on it. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, burn yourselves out. Run around in circles, my little fishies. And when you're sick and tired of running around in circles, then we'll scoop you up and eat you, I suppose. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, like I say, yeah, I don't really think that he's done anything wrong. I think this is desperation on their part, because at the end of the day, it's Trump. And because at the end of the day, he's part of the anti-establishment. The military-industrial complex doesn't like him, so therefore they give the marching orders to the mainstream media, this is my theory obviously, to go through and to vilify Trump, which is what they've done. But the thing is that they're both signing their own demise. The mainstream media is literally failing and falling on their sword, and people are just sitting there laughing at him going, ha ha! Like Nelson out of The Simpsons. Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, I really don't have anything else to add apart from that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I've said my piece before. Yeah,
cool. Let's jump into the next story. So, Fusion GPS founder had contact with State Department officials during 2016 campaign. Oof, the heats just keep coming. One of the co-founders of the opposition research firm that commissioned the Steele dossier was in contact with a State Department official in the days before the news article was published, laying out allegations contained in the salacious anti-Trump report. Emails obtained by the Daily Caller News Foundation show that Glenn Simpson, an executive at Fusion GPS, contracted Jonathan Weiner, who then served as Steele's special envoy for Libya on September 19th and September 22nd, 2016. He was in days ahead of the publication of a Yahoo News article. That first story cited information gathered by Christopher Steele, the former British spy who authored the dossier. Weiner, a longtime aide to former Secretary of State John Kerry, who was a source for that article, which laid out Steele's allegations about the Carter Page, a former Trump campaigner advisor, would become the target of the FBI's surveillance. The emails were obtained through a Freedom of Information Act lawsuit filed on the DNCNF's behalf by Judicial Watch. Showed for the first time that Simpson had direct contact with State Department officials. The emails do not mention the dossier or Steele, but they do show Simpson was desperate to speak with Weiner, a Democratic attorney who also served in the State Department during the Clinton administration. So Simpson, a former Wall Street Journal reporter, sent an email on September 19th, 2016, asking Weiner if he was in town. For a couple of hours, Weiner replied. Simpson contacted Weiner again on the September the 22nd, asking, "Can you ring ASAP?" Weiner responded with, "We'll try. Can this wait until 11 a.m.? Simpson responded, "Not really, but it is quick." So basically what you have is the company that went through and funded the Trump Steele dossier opposition research in direct contact with the State Department official. Boy, that's not good.
Yeah. No, not at all.
Mm.
God damn.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, it's a bit of a theme on the news today.
Yeah, it's corruption all around, and you wonder why people don't have 5,000 subs by now. Look, at the end of the day.
Actually, I do. This is the reason why things like Anarchapulco exists. Anarchists, they just want to get rid of the government, and sometimes I just can't blame them.
Yeah, but even in Acapulco, they have their own system of government.
At least they do have something to replace it with, but let's just wait and see.
Yeah, so we're going to get rid of the government and bring in our own government.
Yep. No corruption can ever happen when it's different people running it. Actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of corruption in Acapulco, but anyway. But what I was going to say was, at the end of the day, the fact is that you have the guy who literally is one of the co-founders of the opposition research firm who did this Steele dossier in contact with the State Department. This whole Yahoo News article is very suspicious because it was literally the State Department giving the Yahoo News the articles or the information so that Yahoo News would run the story, so that then the government officials who gave Yahoo News could then point to the news to say, hey, look at this, we need to investigate this.
Yeah.
But this is why I don't like the deep state. Apart from that, we'll see what happens, I suppose. But holy shit, I don't know. I don't know what's going to come out of this, but apart from that, final thoughts, theories.
No, just corruption all around. What's the answer? I'm not sure. Is there ever going to be a time when we can just have some good, honest people in charge? But gosh, that's some heavy wishful thinking right there. I'm sorry if I sound black-pilled on it.
No, that's all right. But if it's any consolation, I got some news that might make you laugh a little bit. So let's jump into the next story.
Thank you.
Millionaire offers $240,000 to man to marry his daughter.
Wow.
So I told you I'd make you laugh. So a Thai multi-millionaire has offered a load of money and his entire estate to whoever marries his 26-year-old daughter, saying he's asking for the man to work hard and make her happy. Seems simple enough, right? Aman Rothdog, 58, owns a thriving durian fruit farm. Yep, that's the famous smelly one in Chumphon Province, southern Thailand, which means he's worth more than a bit of wad. The 26-year-old daughter, Kamish, helps him run the family business, but he's taking her into the future. But he's now taking her future into his own hands, having promised 11 million Thai baht, or 240,000 euro, or 300,000 to the bloke she marries. He'll also gift his future son-in-law his huge durian farm, which is the biggest in the area and are valued at 7 million pounds. While in some areas of Thailand, a man normally pays a dowry for his future wife, due to tradition, Rosthrong said he's willing to waive this when the usual deal is struck. She's actually not bad looking either, by the way. He said, I want someone to take care of business and make it last. I don't want a person with a bachelor's or master's or officer's degree. I want a diligent man. I want someone with hard-working attitude, that is all. Rostovthog has said several other children of his own, including his sons, but he said he wanted to give everything to Christensen's husband-to-be. As soon as I have a in-law, I will give up my assets to him, he said. Christens, who speaks English and Chinese fluently, is a virgin. Okay? And has never had a boyfriend. he's confirmed that she is still single and has been overwhelmed by the attention from her father's public offer. Of course she has. Every guy and his man and his dog. She's actually really kind of beautiful, actually. I'll put a photo in chat for you. She has, however, hinted that her future hubby may have to work a bit to getting the money from her dad, as she'd apparently like to use it herself for plastic surgery in Korea. Oh, baby, you don't need plastic surgery. Thankfully, she's not that mad at her father for the ballsy move, although she's admitted she was a little surprised to discover what he had done, having heard about it from friends rather than straight from the horse's mouth. Funny enough, Christian admits that she was a bit surprised when she found out that her father had done, having been told about this plans by friends. She admitted, I first found out about my father's post when my friends showed me. It was surprised, but I can see the funny side of it too. It is true that I'm still single. If I have to marry with someone, I only want him to be diligent and good person who loves his family. So, yeah. I'm going to Thailand, alright? Hold down the fort. But
no worries, buddy.
Yeah, I'm going to go and get some of that money. But yeah, no, apart from all jokes aside, thoughts, opinions?
Not much, man. Yeah, not much on that one.
Nah. Look, at the end of the day, obviously, good luck to him. I hope she finds the right guy. I don't know if this is the best way to do it. I think he's going to get a lot of opportunities to do it. But yeah, at the end of the day, look, I think she's quite attractive. I don't think she needs plastic surgery. And I think at the end of the day, you know, look, she's just maybe needs to love herself a little bit better, because she seems like she might be a little harsh on herself. But apart from that, yeah, look, good luck to her, I suppose.
A lot of ladies do that. A lot of ladies are like that. And look, it's a lot to do with the fact that when, you know, the girls are growing up, they are shown unrealistic beauty standards in the magazines. And then as adults...
She grew up in Thailand. Do they have those sort of magazines over there?
Probably. I mean, do they have internet access?
I don't know.
You know?
I've been to Thailand, but I never really checked out female beauty magazines. It wasn't on my to-do list when I was in Thailand.
Yeah, I can understand that.
It's not what you're thinking either, internet, alright? No hashtag Nonpartisan does Thailand or any of that shit, alright? Okay? No. But apart from that, no, look, at the end of the day, like I said, I don't know if this is the best way to find a husband. But, you know, hey, I thought it was a funny story, and I thought might cheer you up a little bit before we get back into the depressing and sad news. Want to get back into it?
Yes, let's do it. Hit me.
Girl Scout partner with abortion industry, anal sex tutorial promoter teen Vogue. Yeah, so that happened. Two former participants in the Girl Scouts say the organisation enjoys a cozy relationship with the abortion industry, including Planned Parenthood, and now Teen Vogue, a magazine that promotes reproductive justice, has offered a tutorial on anal sex.
Hey, what? Reproductive justice?
Yeah. I have no idea what that means.
Okay.
But let's jump into this shit stain. And Salin, a creator of MyGirlScoutCouncil.com and the co-editor of Christianity Volsky, have spent nearly a decade documenting Girl Scouts USA's relationship with the abortion industry, Planned Parenthood, and political leaders who support abortion and left-wing agenda in general. At the very least, it's a cozy relationship, Voskett told Breitbart News, and she described the ties between the Girl Scouts, the abortion industry, and specifically Planned Parenthood, because that's what you want everybody to grow. You want everybody growing up in the Girl Scouts learning about abortions. On Friday, My Girl Scout Council posted to Facebook that the Girl Scouts Gold Award is a highest honour went to a reproductive health justice project to educate people about the destigmatization access to women's health care. Holy shit. This is why you don't send your girls to Girl Scouts. In December, the Girl Scouts of the Central Californian Coast Instagram account featured a post celebrating Alabama and former Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor, specifically because she was a key swing vote in many important cases, including upholding Roe v. Wade. So, conflicting information from the Girl Scouts and the organization's officials about this ties to the abortion industry have stirred up further controversy about these relationships. The organizers state on its website regarding the issue of human sexuality, birth control, and abortion, it does not take a position or develop material on the issues. Similarly, Girl Scouts denies having a relationship or partnership with Planned Parenthood. Pelosi noted, however, that the local Girl Scout councils and individual troops are permitted to partner with Planned Parenthood. In the video below from October 2004, cited PJ Media, former Girl Scout USA CEO Kathy Colligan confirmed a partnership between the Girl Scouts and Planned Parenthood. And this article goes for a very long time. I don't know how I feel
Planned
about
Parenthood. Yeah, I don't like this one bit. Planned Parenthood, holy crap, they need to stop.
Not just that, but also Teen Vogue, which apparently has offered a tutorial on anal sex.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Like, how old are these girls in Girl Scouts?
Oh, they've done more than just talk about anal sex. There's other stuff they've brought up, which is terrible.
Mm.
Oh,
So
man. Yeah. Planned Parenthood, is it time? Is it time to call it? Just close it down?
Maybe. Look, at the end of the day, obviously, look, I like women to have a choice when it comes to, like, for example, being raped or birth defects or whatever it may be. But at But at the end of the day, it does seem like these Planned Parenthood and these sort of cases and whatnot are an outlier, and that Planned Parenthood is seemingly more about, regardless of whether it's best for the mother or best for the child, it's all about giving her access. And I do have to wonder, are they, that myth about selling the baby parts? Do they actually do that? Is there something that actually does happen? And if that's the case, it makes a lot more sense when it comes to especially laws at the moment now where, they will keep the baby alive, keep it comfortable, and then make a decision. It seems like they want these babies to be fully mature before they abort them. The only reason I can think of that is because organs are more developed. Like, I know it's dark, and I know it's really bad to think, but, are they aborting these babies, quotes, so that they can use them for parts, stem cells, or heart transplants, or whatever it may be? Like, how far does this rabbit hole go?
I hope it doesn't go that far down.
Like
Just
we had a
putting that out
doctor.
there.
Yeah, we had a doctor, a person advocating for late-term abortion, literally saying that if the baby was to die during the birthing, that they would resuscitate the baby and then have a discussion with the mother whether she wants to keep it. Well, why are you bringing it back to life if the mother's going to possibly terminate it anyway?
That's basically it. Yeah, I wish I could ask this guy that question. Like, what's going on here? And most of the time, when these babies have issues, they abort them early on. Yeah. They have all the technology to do this early on. We don't need to be talking about this thing that might happen later. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's something I actually want to have a look into. But, if I go missing, then, well, hey, avenge me. But, I don't know, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Jumping into the next story. James Clapper. I didn't lie to Congress about NSA spying. I just simply didn't understand the question. And in other news that we do not believe ever. So, Tuesday on CNN's New Day, the host, John Berman, asked former National Intelligence Director James Clapper about the Intercept's Glenn Greenwald, saying he lied to Congress about the NSA programs used to spy on the American phone records. Clapper denied lying to Congress in 2013, explaining he simply didn't understand the question he was asked. The original...
Oh.
Yes, sure. Like I said, other news that we don't believe for today. The originally thought behind this, the program was put in place as a direct result of the 9/11. At the point was able to track quickly and foreign communicate talkily to somebody in the country who may have been plotting a terrorist plot, and was put in place during the Bush administration for that reason. I was always regarded as a kind of a safeguard of insurance policy, so that if the need came up, you could have had referred to, Clapper told Berman. As far as the content, the allegations about me lying, I didn't lie. I made a big mistake and just simply didn't understand what I was being asked about, he added. I thought of another surveillance program, Section 702, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, when I was being asked about Section 215 of the Patriot Act at the time. I just didn't understand that. Bullshit! Sorry. I just had to sneeze there.
Yeah.
And can we just say, F and chat for Edward Snowden? Because without Snowden blowing the lid off this, we probably would have never even heard about this. We literally have, and this is why this clip of James Clapper actually in front of Congress is in my channel intro, is because at the end of the day, it was him directly lying, in my opinion, to the American people. And thank God Snowden actually came out and blew the whistle on this, because we probably would have never even heard about it otherwise. So big shout out to Snowden if you ever watched this, some reason why. But yeah, at the end of the day, Snowden did a lot to blow this whole shit out of the water. Thoughts, opinions?
No, just just what you were saying there. But it would be nice to have some more leaks. So I know that Snowden did great. I know a lot of these things, but some of this stuff is getting a bit old. And it would be nice to find out what's going on more recently.
Well, you heard about they're trying to retry transmitting.
Yeah, I did hear about that. Is that actually going to happen?
Well, apparently tomorrow. It's happening tomorrow. They're putting her through a grand jury. People reckon that they're actually going after her because of WikiLeaks.
Oh boy. Okay.
So.
Well, let's hope that goes well. I mean, for him,
Her.
Not the government. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Don't because burn. But yeah, UK patient free of HIV after stem cell treatment. A UK patient's HIV has become undetectable following the stem cells transplant. Only the second time a case of this kind, doctors report in Nature. The London patient, who has been treated for cancer, has now been in readmission for HIV for 18 months and is no longer taking HIV drugs. The researchers say it's too early to say the patient is cured of HIV. Experts say the approach is not practical for treating most people with HIV, but may help one day find a cure. So in other words, we might have a cure, but we're not going to use it because we make more money selling drugs. The male London patient who has not been named was diagnosed with HIV in 2003 and advanced Hodgkin's lymphoma in 2012. He had chemotherapy to treat the Hodgkin's cancer, and in addition, stem cells were implanted in the patient from a donor resistant to HIV, leading to both his cancer and HIV going into remission. Researchers from the University College London, Imperial College London, Cambridge and Oxford universities were all involved in this case. So it's not an anomaly. This is the second time a patient treated this way has ended up in remission from HIV. 10 years ago, another patient in Berlin received bone marrow transplant from a donor with a natural immunity to the virus. Timothy Brown, said to be the first person to beat HIV/AIDS, was given 2 transplants and total body radiotherapy for leukemia, much more aggressive treatment. By achieving readmission in the second patient using similar approach, we have shown that the Berlin patient was not an anomaly, and that it was and that it really was the treatment's approach to eliminate HIV in these 2 patients, said the study. And the article kind of goes on for a little bit more. Thoughts, opinions?
Not really. It's an interesting one. It's an interesting one, but we'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah. I do find it interesting that they don't want to do this treatment for everybody else. Does make you wonder why.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's see. Let's see why. I'm sure there'll be a follow-up story. Not.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, let's jump into the next story. Snoop Dogg wants the Lakers shipped out on a slave ship. And we're demonetized. Who we can, we'll demonetize in the first 5 minutes. Rapper Snoop Dogg has apparently had it with the LA Lakers. In fact, he's so mad he wants the team shipped out on a slave ship.
Oh my god, that guy. Anyway, okay, sorry, go on.
Aren't most of the LA Lakers black?
That's why I'm laughing.
Like, holy shit. Can you imagine a white guy saying this?
I know. You know, like, Jesse Lee Peterson and him together in one podcast on Joe Rogan. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Alright,
boy.
so
Okay.
Drop It Like It's Hot rapper, I don't even know what that refers to, but anyway, went after the Lakers in a profanity-laced video after last weekend's 118-109 loss to the Phoenix Suns, TMZ reported. Bad year, Snoop said. Somebody's gotta go. Apparently they gotta go to the slave ship, apparently. Snoop was so mad that he lapsed into slave talk. Is that a new term? The ship all them and something AS, you could probably guess what that is, out. Get a slave ship and ship them all those sorry motherfuckers the fuck out of here, he coped. Holy fuck. Jesus Christ. Sick of all this, trying to act like it's gonna be alright, it's gonna be it's gonna be cool, whatever, COL. They're gonna figure it out, they're gonna grow. These sorry motherfuckers aren't gonna do shit, Snoop added. These goofballs aren't going to do shit. They sorry. Somebody's gotta go. Fuck this shit. Somebody's gotta go. Matter of fact, load all those and something AS. Gotta go. Start with the coach, he continued. Get LeBron some fucking help, he complained. And yeah, holy shit.
Best fucking shit ever. I love it.
Yeah, but okay, but and look, obviously,
But it's terrible. I love it, but it is terrible. Yeah.
But what I was going to say is, obviously, we're finding this funny, right? Because it's kind of what it kind of is. But at the end of the day, can you imagine a white guy saying this about the team?
Oh gosh, no. Don't do it. That's what I say to him. You're white. They can't do this. Stop.
Like, you know, like, and how many people on the left are complaining about him being racist? Or being an Uncle Tom, or whatever it may be.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, you got to sit there and think at some point that, like, this is just... Like, we find it funny, obviously, and, you know, we got a pretty dark sense of humour. But at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is that, you know, that if anybody else was to say this shit, holy crap, they would have been banned off Twitter.
Banned off Twitter, articles written about.
Yeah.
It would have been hell on earth for whoever said that.
Like, the only people that are talking about this is, from what I've seen, is Breitbart. No,
Oh, really?
Now, I haven't seen mainstream media talk about this. No, that said, I don't really watch mainstream media, so I could be missing it. But at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, where's mainstream media on this? Where's mainstream media calling Snoop Dogg, you know, an Uncle Tom or a racist? That would be my argument.
Missing. Yeah, missing from the conversation.
Funny that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alright. Speaking of racism, let's jump into the next shit stain. Linda Sarsour attacks white feminist Nancy Pelosi over resolution condemning anti-Semitics.
More anti-Semitism. Oh.
Yeah, so this time, Linda Sarsour is attacking the white feminist Nancy Pelosi over a resolution that condemns anti-Semitism.
Semitism?
That one, yeah. So the Women's March chair, or co-chair, Linda Sarsour, attacks Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi Monday night as a typical white feminist upholding the patriarchy, doing the dirty work of the powerful white men in response to a House resolution condemning anti-Semitism. The House Democrats announced the resolution Monday after Democrat Minnesota Representative Alan Maher's latest anti-Israel comment, which criticized, including other Democrats, have denounced as anti-Semitic. This is why we want Congresswoman Barbara Lee to be the Speaker of the House, and progressives were like, nah, Pelosi is the leader, and oh my god, you should see how she claps. What? Anyway. What a clap, Sarsour wrote in a lengthy Facebook post. Is Sarsour losing her... Is she going batshit crazy? What is she talking about a clap for? Anyway.
A clap?
Oh, the when she clapped to Trump, sort of thing, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe that's what they're
It's
talking
not.
about.
Yeah, it's not the YouTube clap thing. Yeah.
Nancy is a typical white feminist upholding the patriarchy, doing the work of the powerful white men. God forbid the men are upset. No worries, Nancy to the rescue to stroke their ego, she wrote. Sarsour accused Democrat leaders of responding more quickly to anti-Semitism than any Muslim rhetoric, and claims the resolution would only help Republicans. Democrats are playing into the hands of the right, dividing our base and reinforcing their narrative and giving them an easier path towards 2020, Sarsour wrote. I reject this. I will speak out. I won't be silenced. I am not following this. I do not speak for me as a Democrat, nor me as no more double standards. Women's March. The Women's March has been plagued by its own anti-Semitic issues, including its leaders' support of national Support of Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan, a notorious racist and anti-Semitic, or anti-Semite. Also, I believe Linda Sarsour is actually friends with Louis Farrakhan and is actually has a very close connection with him. Funny how that seems to work, isn't it? An investigation published by Tablet magazine in December revealed Women's March leaders repeatedly made anti-Semitic remarks, including spreading conspiracy theories about Jews being responsible for the slave trade. The investigation also found that Women's March used Nation of Islam members for their security. Sarsour was unapologetic about Farrakhan's controversy as recently as January, when she taped a podcast with the left-wing media outlet Democracy Now! What are your thoughts? I find it very interesting that some of the people in the Democrat are calling out other Democrats for sticking up for the Jewish people.
Yes. There's a couple of things there I actually really should not comment on due to YouTube restrictions, so I will do that. But on the other hand, yes, it is interesting that they're calling them out for this and defending this. I think I better stop right there.
Yeah, I look at the end of the day. Look, I'll probably say what you're thinking. But at the end of the day, she is a Muslim. She is a Muslim, and there's a history of Jews and Muslims having a very, very confrontational history. I am not surprised, and this is something that we actually said with that Republican Allah, whatever her name is. We said, and I said it yesterday in the video yesterday, that at the end of the day, to me, she is anti-Semitic because of the fact that she is only focusing on one side. She is only focusing on the Jews who are lobbyists. She's not focusing on Muslims or Australian or any other country that is lobbyists. And I'm not surprised that Linda Sarsour, a open Muslim, has a problem with the Democratic Party sticking up for the Jewish population. There might be something to that. You might sit there at one point and think, boy, it's like we might have wolves in sheep's clothing. But I don't know. Yeah. Apart from that, any other final thoughts?
No, man. Yeah, there's a couple of things there, but I can't.
No, that's all right. That's good. No worries.
Yeah.
Tell me offline. All right, last thing. School stops LGBT lessons after backlash from angry Muslim parents. Speaking of Muslims, a primary school in Birmingham, England has halted LGBT lessons after 600 pupils were reportedly taken out of class by furious Muslim parents upset at homosexuality being aggressively taught into their children, RT writes. Parkville Community School has been forced to suspend its No Outsiders class until after Easter, while a consultation takes place with parents. Tensions between the school and parents have escalated due to a row surrounding LGBT lifestyles being taught in classrooms. The ill feeling from angry parents have boiled over into threats against the assistant head teacher Andrew Moffat, MBE, who is gay. He claims to have received nasty emails, including one which warned he wouldn't last long. Oof. At least they're not threatening to chuck him off a roof, I suppose. The primary school, which has around 740 pupils, is located in predominantly Muslim areas and has come under fire from Muslim parents for implementing an LGBT program which seeks to challenge homophobia because homosexuality is strictly forbidden in Islam. According to Alarm Rock Community Forum, children were removed from classes over the school's undetermining of parental rights and aggressive promoting of homosexuality. a letter to the parents and trustees board of Excelsior Multi-Academy Trust, which runs the school, confirmed lessons would be halted until the end of April. A form added that despite repeat petitions, protests and dialogues insisting by parents have been arrogantly ignored, Moffat had been piloting the program, which had been running in parallel with sex and relation education SRE lessons. So I guess we know who's going to win in the victim narrative war. The left intersexuality. We now have a clear winner as to who beats who. Apparently Muslims are the most repressed people now. I don't know how the LGBT community feels about this, but
we'll see soon, won't we? I'm sure they'll have something to say. They're left eating the left. Where have we seen that before?
Yeah, well, look, at the end of the day, obviously, from me, the most interesting thing I find about this is the fact that the school caved to the Muslim population. So like I say, this is obviously, hey, well, we now have the hierarchy. We now have the top of the intersexuality pyramid, as you would say. And to me, this is very, very interesting. Look, obviously, I don't like it when, if I ever had kids, they were taught this crap at school either. I wouldn't like it either. I have a big problem with it too. Yeah, it's because not because I'm a bigot, but because that's just not for children at that age. Yeah, obviously, look, at the end of the day, you want your kids to learn, arithmetic and maths and what. That's what they go to school for. Yeah, not know what a dildo is. But look, at the end of the day, and look, obviously, like I say, this is where obviously something that the Muslim community and the conservatives have a bit in common. But at the end of the day, can you imagine the school reacting the same way if all the conservatives started pulling their kids out of school? Do you think they would stop their classes?
No, I haven't thought of that. No, I haven't thought of that.
Do you reckon they would or they wouldn't?
I have already seen it happening. Yeah, that's an interesting thing to look at. Yeah.
Well, at the very least, like I say, we at least now know who's on top of the intersexuality pyramid. Yeah. Goes to show that Muslims will rule the roost. Don't know what the alt-right has to say about this, but moving along. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, and this is obviously where, like, people have always wondered, who's going to be the ultimate victim? Well, I guess we have an answer now, don't we? Final thoughts, opinions?
No, I think we've said our piece on that one.
Yeah. No worries, guys. Like I said, apart from that, obviously, look, like I say, and I said earlier in the video, I apologise for the videos being pre-recorded and uploaded. It's just until my internet gets upgraded. We only have about 4 or 6 weeks or so until that happens. So hopefully that should be sooner rather than later. It's how we're going to do things over the next few weeks until at least we get that all sorted. Apart from that, guys, obviously, you have any questions, any comments or anything like that, feel free to hit us up in the comment section below. Apart from that, guys, obviously, if there's any stories, anything that you think we should be covering, please feel free to. We will probably talk about the Joe Rogan podcast tomorrow, which had Tim Pool and Jack Dorsey on it. I want to listen to it once again, obviously, just so I can go through and get all the information. But yeah, very interesting podcast, and guys, if you haven't had a chance to, definitely go and have a look at that. Apart from that, so what? Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. I hope everyone enjoyed the show today.
Yeah, regardless of it not being streamed, it should be a lot more clearer, should be a lot more precise, and a lot less buffering involved. So yeah, apart from that, guys, enjoy yourselves, have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a great day and enjoy.